Hey everyone, my name is Troy from Tech Games Etc. And today I have a video game review of Spec Ops The Line. Now with all my video game reviews, you can go ahead and you can look at the bottom of the video and you can skip to the part where I give my final grade and the reasons why this game should be only played if you're desperate, okay? But like with all my reviews, I'm going to go ahead and start off with an overview, and I'm gonna give you my pros and my cons, and I'm gonna give you my final grades and my final grade and my final thought. So let's get to the overview, okay? It's been 6 months since Dubai was wiped out by a severe sandstorm. So you're Captain Walker with your squad of Delta operators, and you have to infiltrate Dubai looking for survivors, especially this U.S. Army Colonel John Conrad and his 33rd Infantry, who may have sent out a weak distress signal. So pretty much the campaign has a normal, medium, and hard mode, and there's a very hard mode that can be unlocked when you beat the game. Now there is a multiplayer which has team deathmatch, rally point where you defend locations on the map, buried where you have to destroy points on the map on the enemy side to reveal pretty much their final target, their final spot you have to destroy. Attrition, which is a TDM with only 1 life and you get 3 rounds and no respawn. An uplink uplink mode where you just pretty much have to control these comm stations, keep these comm stations online, and comm stations can be destroyed or repaired, and the longer you keep your comm station up and running, the more points you score. Now in multiplayer there's also perks and there's also stuff that was there, but like I said, I really didn't care about this game multiplayer, and I'll get to that later. So let's get to the pros of this game. I'm gonna give you my top 5 pros of this game, and you can read the rest in the description box below. It's gonna be my top 5 of 9. But these are 5 things. These are 5 things that this game does get right. Number 1, when your back is against the wall, you can shoot in front and the side of you and still remain in cover. Now this is one of the first games that I know right now that really respects that. Even if you're crouching under cover, like you're crouching behind cover, if you shoot to your left and your right, you're still under cover. So that was really good, and this game does respect that. Number 2, there's indications in your crosshair that will indicate if your weapon is in range or out of range. Like it'll turn dark red if the enemy's in range, or it'll get turned pink and all the way to white if they're out of range, which is really good. Number 3, when grenades blow up, it can kick up sand and temporarily blind nearby enemies. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that was a little wow factor there. I was like, okay. So number 4, you can adjust the zoom of your sniper rifle without looking down your scope. That was pretty much this is one of the first games I can remember that they did that, so that was something that I should mention. And number 5, the grenade indicator will show you if you are in the blast radius of an enemy's grenade. Like, you know how games when an enemy throws a grenade, like say Call of Duty, and you see the grenade indicator of where that grenade is located. Well, in this game, if an enemy throws a grenade, that indicator will either turn red, which it means you're in the blast radius, or turn white where you're out of the blast radius. And that was very helpful throughout the game, because this game was hard to me a little bit, and that was really helpful. Now let's get to the cons, and man oh man, these are some cons right here. Now I'm gonna give you my top 5 cons out of 10. Let's get to my number 1, and this is in particular order. This is number 1. This game has one of the worst endings I've ever seen. Okay, This ending is worse than Inversion, and it is very disappointing. Now, I don't want to spoil too much for you. I really don't. Pretty soon I'm gonna have a movie of all the in-game cinemas in a couple of days. Probably give me till like tomorrow or so. But right now my hard drive is, almost full. I got like 11 gigs out of 500 left because I make these in-game cinemas. But if you don't see it by Friday evening or Friday night, late Friday night, just hit me up to see if I'm still doing it. But I don't want to spoil this game for you. But this game has one of the worst endings I have ever seen, because it's gonna let me transfer this to number 2. My number 2 con for this game. There are no boss fights whatsoever, and there is no final boss fight. Let me repeat that. There is no final boss fight. Yes. The only thing you come close to a quote-unquote boss fight is when you fight the heavies. They're on, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 3, the heavies, where they have all this padding on and the helmet, but those are like powerful henchmen. There is no boss fights in this game, and there's no final boss fight. Talk about a middle finger. There is no boss fights and no final boss fights. I don't want to spoil the ending. I don't want to spoil the story. But like I said, I'm making a video of all the in-game cinemas right now. But yeah. So number 3. The gameplay overall is just mediocre. You can only do so much with the story because you have to find Conrad and things like that. You have to find what was his name? John Conrad. I almost said Conrad Mary, but that's a whole other topic. But anyway, you have to find, John Conrad, whatever, and you only can do but so much with the story. So it felt like there were missions where the missions got repetitive, where somehow you got separated from your squad mates and you had to go find your squad mates, because there was only but so much you can do with the story. And that really, I really noticed that after I beat the game. I was like, felt like there was a substantial amount of missions where somehow you got separated from your squad mates, and you had to go out your way to find your squad mates, regroup, fight through the story, then get separated somehow, then find those squad mates and things like that. Now, number 4. This game should have ended sooner at chapter 10 instead of chapter 15, because of just the repetitiveness of the gameplay. This game should have ended much sooner. There was just some things they just could have cut out, but for the sake of development and making this game feel long, they had to force these some missions in there. Now, number 5. Now, the game modes are locked in multiplayer. There's some game modes that are locked in multiplayer. I really don't remember which ones were locked. I really don't care for multiplayer, because that's one of my other cons. Multiplayer, which is really boring. I posted videos of multiplayer, buried mode, and TDM, and you're talking about some of the most boringest matches I've ever been through. And that was just pretty much it. Like, my opinion is game mode should not be locked. Like, game mode, because you have an unproven, untested multiplayer. So allowing players to be in whatever mode they want to be in, to at least get the play value up. But anyway, so after all this, after all that I said, what do I give Spec Ops The Line? I give this game an E. And it's not E for everyone, because this game is surely this game is surely not for everyone. Let me tell you something. This game gets an E, and this game has my vote for worst game of the year. Yes, this game has my vote for worst game of the year. First of all, multiplayer is totally forgettable. All those perks you unlock with that pre-order bonus, you're not gonna even probably use all that shit. Like, you get different decals for your character. I call it decals, but you get certain head, uniforms. You get stuff unlocked. Multiplayer is so forgettable in this game. So your only hope for this game is the campaign mode, and it's sad because the campaign mode has one of the worst endings I've ever played this year. And how can you have a game in 2012 with no boss fights? No boss fights whatsoever. Zero. I mean, repetitive gameplay and an ending that will leave you disappointed. IGN gave this game an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. And I'm like, really? And it just goes to show you, man, like, personally, it's like the industry is... IGN gave this an 8 out of 10. I'm like, where is this 8 at? This game should at least, if you want to be safe, IGN, at least a 6. At least a 6. If you want to say mediocre, because that's what this game is. If I was IGN, I would give this game a 4. That's how serious this game is. As far as the campaign goes, so forgettable. This game should have ended much sooner at chapter 10. But I can understand, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this game is very disappointing. Very disappointing. But there you go. There you have it. Make sure, did you think I got this right? If you played this game at all, leave it in the comments and tell me what you think. Did I get it right or wrong? Were you disappointed by this game? Were you happy about this game? But there you go. There you have it. If you like what you saw today, please like the video. It really helps out a lot. And there go all my contact information. See you later. Thanks a lot.